We are here for you, Preds fans. We are here for you tonight on the Catfish on Ice podcast as we are back for another episode. Been away for a little bit. We've been away for a week, but we're back for a new episode. This is Chad Minton, your host, with co-host Rich Howe. Thank you for joining us, everybody, tonight. We are here for you. We know that we are going through some uncertainty right now when it comes to the Preds. This is our rough patch of the season, folks, and we got to go through this together. Isn't that right, Rich?
Man, I got to tell you, I am a little disappointed right now. I am one of those people that you were just talking about. I am a little down in the dumps about what's happening right now, to tell you the truth. So hopefully we're going to have some good conversation and you can help me get out of that. So,
all right. Well, we are here for you is all I can say right now.
I'm one of those people. Yeah.
The last time we left our awesome listeners was last week before I went to Florida.
Yep.
And how did we end that episode, Rich? I actually went back and listened to it. We said, let's hope things get better before we come back.
Things did not get
better. Things did not, but it was only one game. These breaks between these games, Rich, are driving me just as crazy as the losses themselves.
Yeah. Oh, I agree. I mean, I don't think it's good. It's because bad. I don't know.
We have to sit around and sulk over these losses for like 2 or 3 days at a time. It's like there's no opportunity to just get back out there and make up for it. And I know the players are feeling the same way.
There's no there's no news in between there or anything. So you're just like, what's going to happen next game? Are they going to do better? Are they going to do worse? Are they going to win, lose, whatever? It's just, I don't know who made this section of the schedule, but they didn't do a good job.
I think a problem with it is the Preds had so many games in hand, and we talked about it, Rich. We were like, look, the Preds have all these extra games. It's going to eventually even out. That's what we're seeing. But that's what's driving me crazy way more than – I mean, the losses are obviously horrible, but you don't have the opportunity to get back out there and make up for it. You have to sit around for 2 or 3 days at a time. And then you throw the All-Star break in there as well, which is the Preds have – basically since the All-Star break, the Preds have looked like a completely different team.
Absolutely. Nothing like what they looked like before. I don't even know what. I got nothing to explain what's happening. It's insane.
Well, we're going to give you, Rich, we're going to give you time during this episode to come up with some words for what's going on, all right? Because you're going to have to get in on this. But this is episode 107 of Catfish on Ice with Chad Minton and Rich Howe, brought to you by DraftKings and part of the Hockey Podcast Network. We will have our buddy Kyle Perkins joining us later in the episode to do Perk's picks and get in on some of our later topics in this episode. This is what we got in store for you tonight. Our opening face-off with all of the turmoil and the downward trend that the Preds are on right now. It is still a very important week for this franchise, an historical week for this franchise, because not only not to be outdone by the Stadium Series, Pecorine is getting his jersey retired this week. It is happening this Thursday as the Preds play the Dallas Stars. We're already seeing all the tributes come out. We've already seen Pecorine arrive at the Nashville International Airport with that infectious smile that he has. I think we've all seen the pics. Can I just say right now that some of the pics I'm seeing of Pecorine, it looks like he went back 10 years. Like he looks like he's in his mid-20s. Like the aging process is not catching up to Pecorine at all.
He doesn't have that pressure on him anymore. All he has to do now is take care of his kiddo. So
he looks so happy. He looks so happy. Yeah. He's just such a genuine soul. He's just so perfect in every way. I know we all have flaws. Obviously, he's not perfect. But, he's as close as perfect as you can get.
He's pretty close.
And I'm just having my fingers crossed that everything goes smoothly with the ceremony. And when you see that jersey get lifted to those Bridgestone Arena rafters, It's going to be truly historical. We're always going to remember it as Predators fans. So that obviously makes this week historical.
Yep.
And then the Preds are going to host their first ever outdoor game on Saturday against the Tampa Bay Lightning at Nissan Stadium. We've already seen renderings of what the stadium's going to look like. Did you see it, Rich?
Nice. I did. Yeah. It looks really awesome. It was amazing. And they did. We talked about it last time. They actually did drive that semi down Broadway. They showed some pictures that they had the rink in it. They actually did drive that right down the middle of Broadway. So kudos to that driver, man, for navigating that road. So
exactly, yeah, because that's very
cool.
Very tight knit quarters.
Very tight
going through there.
Absolutely, but yeah,
those
pictures look amazing. It's I don't even know. It looks
like
huge.
the area around the ice. So what would normally be the rest of the football field? So, because an ice rink is obviously way smaller than an NFL football field. And so you've got all that extra space around the stadium seating whenever you do these outdoor games. And that's what stood out to me in that rendering of the what the Stadium Series game is going to look like on Saturday. If it looks even halfway what that rendering looks like, it's going to be an amazing spectacle for the TV audience and obviously for the people that are there in person. I've already seen a lot of Predators fans who said they're going to be there. I will not be there, unfortunately, but you know what? I will be right down the road from it. I did not get tickets to the game, unfortunately, but it's okay. We're still going to cover it. We're still going to watch it. We're still going to be all in tune for it. So, a big historical week for the Nashville Predators.
Would not miss that game for anything. That's for sure.
That's going to be this Saturday. So we got one more episode before that. But it's going to be this Saturday at 6:30 local time.
Yep. I think there's some pregame stuff going on before that. But, yeah, definitely.
Oh, yeah, it'll be a party. Nashville always throws a party. They know how to do it.
Yep. They're doing a concert down there as well, right?
Yeah.
In the park.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a huge bunch of people down there.
Yeah, you got I think if I saw it correctly, you've got Miranda Lambert.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Is going to be part of the festivities. And then you've also got, let's pull it up real quick. Definitely Miranda Lambert. I saw her as one of the
I think they said they're doing like a concert. Is it the park? Is it called Winter Park? Is that the one?
You talking about the plaza, the Bridgestone Arena Plaza?
Or? No, I don't know. They said there's like some concerts going on in the park down there. I don't know if it's the park. What's the park where the Parthenon is? What's that called?
Oh, that's Centennial Park.
Okay. Is there another one called Winter Park?
I don't know about it. You got a Cinda Amphitheater. You've got Riverfront Park, which is runs right around the. But yeah, it's.
I don't know. Anyway, they're supposed to be having a concert down there as well on the day of. So.
But yeah, it's Miranda. Yeah, it's Miranda Lambert and Dirk Bentley. I couldn't remember who the male artist was, but Dirk Bentley and Miranda Lambert will be the headliners playing during the first period intermission.
Very cool.
So that was announced a little bit ago, like a while ago, a few weeks ago. But yeah, I don't know about the park thing you're talking about. Well, I'll have to look into that.
I'll find it.
Yeah, if you remember where you saw that from. But Miranda Lambert and Dirk Bentley, I mean, those are like two major stars to headline the music festivities. You know that Nashville always knows how to throw a party. So that's never a question.
It's the Walk of Fame park that's right by Bridgestone.
Yeah, so it's like there's a little park that's outside Bridgestone. It's like a plaza. They kind of call it a plaza, but it's kind of like it's a beautiful part of the city.
Yeah, they're supposed to be doing like bands and stuff down there too.
Yeah, and that was kind of like if anyone remembers during 2017 the playoff run to the Stanley Cup, they were having watch parties out there. Mm-hmm. Where it was free to the public. They had a big screen set up, like a projector screen set up out there. And I remember plain as day walking out there and being able to watch the game in this plaza. So if you've never been there and you're going to the Stadium Series this week, you're going to see that area is just perfect for outdoor festivities, and that's what Nashville is going to do for the Stadium Series game. And, of course, to the Tampa Bay Lightning fans as well. If we got any Tampa Bay Lightning fans listening tonight or watching right now, it's going to be set up for you to have a great time as well. Like, it's going to be awesome.
Yep.
And then, of course, Rich, NHL Trade Rumor season is upon us. They are heating up like crazy. There are so many rumors out there. This is one of my favorite times of year. I say this all the time. One of my favorite times of year, besides the obvious playoffs, is these trade rumors and which player is going to go where. And is this team ready to go all in? Is this team going to be full-on sellers? And what's really hard as a Predators fan right now is we don't know what we are.
No. I knew what we were before the break, but not now. I have no clue.
I mean,
no clue at all.
We really don't know what we are, but we're really focusing on these trade rumors that are flowing through the NHL. We're following all the insiders. We're seeing what people think is going to happen. How do the Predators fit in that, of course? And also, what kind of trade packages would you be willing to offer for some of these players? We're going to get back into that. We've been talking about it in previous episodes. We're going to keep focusing on it because it's a big deal. And honestly, I don't even think David Poile knows what he's going to do if he's sitting here right now.
No.
And that's what makes it really fun to speculate about. So we will get into that. Kyle Perkins will be joining us by that point, so he'll give us his point on that. And we're going to bring back the Pretz confidence meter. We've got four new questions. 4 new questions for the Pretz confidence meter tonight.
They're tough.
We're going to rate our confidence from 1 to 10, 10 being we're most confident on these certain questions that we're going to ask ourselves when it comes to the Predators. Some really tough ones tonight. Some ones that I really had to think really hard about all 4 of them.
They're good ones. I will say that.
And we will end the episode with the Preds lineup, and it really fits into how are we going to fix this team. Is it we've always preached that the Preds do not need to shake the lineup up. Go with that's been our motto this year, right, Rich? Is
always.
Don't shake things up. Keep it the way it's going. Everything's working. But we're in troubled times right now, and so we have to at least start entertaining moving a player or two around the starting lineup. So that's how we'll end the episode.
Yep. Changes might be coming. So.
Yep. All right. First off, I am very happy to be back here in Nashville. Went down to the Tampa, St. Pete area, St. Petersburg, Florida. That is where I'm moving this summer. So I went down there to scope out new homes and got a feel for the land. I joked around on the podcast channel saying that I'm doing a recon on the Tampa Bay Lightning. And quite frankly, not even lying here. I did not see one Tampa Bay Lightning jersey in the entire town.
Really?
Now, St. Pete is like 30 minutes across the bridge from Tampa.
That's probably
But I can promise you that everyone in St. Pete is probably Tampa Bay Lightning's fans. But I will say I was a little surprised by that. But I did go to the world-famous Ferg's Sports Bar, which if you're ever in St. Pete, you need to go to Ferg's Sports Bar because it is literally the largest sports bar I've ever seen in my life. And I'm not even exaggerating. It's so easy to get lost in this place. There are multiple indoor and outdoor seating areas. There's at least 5 or 6 different bars. There's TVs galore. The drinks are very reasonably priced. The food is outstanding also. And that's where I went to watch the Preds play the Carolina Hurricanes on Friday night, Rich.
I saw the pictures of that place. It was massive.
It was, yeah. And they have an outdoor area you don't even have to really go completely into the place. You can sit on the sidewalk and enjoy your meal. And that's how most of the places are in St. Pete because year-round the weather is pretty perfect and spectacular. You very rarely need a sweatshirt or a jacket when you're down there.
Did anybody give you any grief when you asked to put the game on? That's
no
good.
grief whatsoever. I don't think they see us as a threat, Rich.
That's true. Well, yeah, that's true.
I think that's what it comes down to.
Well, people that live around a beach, though, they're usually pretty laid back anyway, sort of.
Oh, the vibes were so positive. I mean, everyone was just like happy that the sun's out and having fun. Everyone's got their dogs out. It was like low 80s and no humidity.
Wow.
And I remember pulling out my weather app just to see what was going on back home, and it was like 30 degrees and cold rain. And I'm like, yeah, I'm very happy to be in Florida right now.
Yep. But when the summer rolls around and it's 106 or 7, that's what I don't like. So I don't do the heat very well.
But that's the problem with Tennessee, though, Rich. I don't know how it gets up in your way in Kentucky, but even in Middle Tennessee, you still get like the 90-degree temps where everything is sticky, and as soon as you walk outside, your clothes are just like drenched, and it's just like, if I got to deal with those temperatures, I'd rather be near a beach. So
that's true. Yeah.
But here's a sign that you're getting old. Just to throw this out there for everybody. I went down there primarily to figure out where I'm moving and stuff. And I did end up finding a place that I'm going to be moving to. And this is a sign, Rich, that you're getting old. One of the top selling points for this new place I'm moving to is there's a Publix right across the street that I can walk to.
Got to go to the grocery store.
That was my selling. Rich, I am getting old because that was a retirement
community. Are you moving to the retirement community?
Unfortunately, I'm a little ways away from retiring. I'm not quite there just yet. But that was a big. I'm like, I can do my grocery shopping. I walk right across the street.
You can just walk. You can get you one of those little carts and put all your groceries in the cart.
I haven't reached that part yet, Rich. I'm not. I'm a little ways away from retiring. I got a little bit ways to go. But yeah. So that was awesome. That was a selling point for me. So Tampa was fun. Cool. St. Pete was fun. It's a gorgeous part of Florida. So I really do really encourage everyone who's looking for the next vacation destination. Go down there. The people are wonderful. They're really nice. A lot to do. A lot of fun. Everyone go down there.
So are you gonna move? Are you gonna live on the beach or near?
I'm gonna be about 30 minutes from the beach.
Okay.
30 minutes in a drive. Yeah, I'm not going to be – now, I'm going to be within walking distance to the coast, but I'm not going to be within walking distance to a beach.
Yeah, that's
cool. That makes sense.
That does. So, that's cool, though.
All right, so let's get into this episode. This is episode 107 of Catfish on Ice with Chad Minton and Rich Howe. Thanks, everyone, for joining us on the podcast. We really appreciate it and love all of you, and can't thank you enough for supporting the podcast here. Let's go ahead and get into this historical week ahead. Rich, what is your biggest memory of Pecorine, and just like, I mean, what is he really, put it into words, what he's really meant to this franchise and to the city?
Everything.
Everything. That's a good word to use.
I mean, really, like the Predators would not be where they are without him. I know I say that a lot, but like you said in the opening, just like the coolest guy on the planet. It seems like laid back, happy, always nice. There's nobody who deserves what the accolades that he's going to get by having his jersey retired any more than him. He's my favorite player. He always has been. The very first jersey I ever bought was a Pecorine jersey. I have a autographed puck that I got from
that's
as a Christmas gift. Got the pop figure, Pecorine little thing, all that stuff. Just awesome. I really miss him a lot. And probably the biggest memory that I have is probably watching the goalie goal. I remember watching that game, how awesome that was for him. So but isn't it him a lot?
Do you gotta say that you're at least a little thankful that he went out the way he did, though? I mean, like,
I am.
I mean, like,
you look at Marc-Andre Fleury.
Yes.
It would kill me to see him, number one, wearing another jersey, number two, being just hammered like Fleury is. I mean,
so that's kind of what I'm getting at. Let's say that he decided that he was going to come back for another season. He was playing this season. For one, I mean, you got to think maybe he would be getting more. He would probably be getting more starts than David Riddick is right now. But
I would say so.
Either way, like it would be. It could potentially mess up his legacy a little bit. Let's say he's just struggling, or maybe he could slow down UC Saros' development because he's having to split more starts with Pecorine. I think as much as we do miss him, he went out at the perfect time.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. And he couldn't have, and the very last game he played in, I mean, that couldn't have been any better.
Exactly.
So he obviously didn't win a Stanley Cup, but he went out on top with a standing ovation from the crowd, who at the time were witnessing his last game, but probably didn't know that. So, that was another really good memory. Was that last game? So
yeah,
we had talked about it before about how it was pretty emotional just seeing how much everybody loves him. So
that's good. He's going to be the first player's jersey to ever get retired in the 23-year history now of the Predators. And I mean, his career numbers, and you just mentioned it, the only thing he doesn't have is a Stanley Cup. His career numbers are all-time great, top 20 in most major all-time categories for goaltenders.
Yep.
And so that's Hall of Fame worthy. The only thing he's missing is that Stanley Cup, right? We've argued about it. We've talked about it. We would probably all be labeled as biased as Predators fans, but it's the Stanley Cup is still a team award. Right. And even though the goaltender gets a lot of the accolades when a team wins a Stanley Cup, and normally a team doesn't win a Stanley Cup unless they have a great goaltender. I understand that, but I hate to think that that's going to be the only reason that Pecorine doesn't make the Hall of Fame is because he doesn't have a Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
And so, I mean,
we did a whole episode talking about goaltenders that were on some kind of top 10 list or whatever. And some of those guys who are going to be in the Hall of Fame, I mean, you take
Henrik Lundqvist.
Henrik Lundqvist does not have Stanley Cup.
He's the big one. He's the big one to compare to Pecorine. But that's the one that you compare. That's the one you're looking at right there. Because if you're going to set that precedent to let him in when when Pecorine's numbers are right up there with his.
Yep.
But guess what, Rich? Unfortunately, it's not fair, but Henrik Lundqvist played for the New York market.
That's true.
And unfortunately, that does play a role.
And another one who I would say is probably going to make it into the Hall of Fame eventually is going to be Tuukka Rask, just retired. He's only got one Stanley Cup, and the year they won it, he was a backup. So,
yeah.
Does that, but once again,
I think it matters. I think
original 6 team, big market. Unfortunately, it's kind of what it looks like to me. So I don't know.
I agree. So another thing about Pecorine, though, and this is really what I want to focus on tonight, it goes above all the stats that are on the ice, and that's what Pecorine did for the Nashville community. I live in this community. I love this community, and when I really can't say that there's ever been a professional athlete in this community that's ever impacted it the way Pecorine has.
Yeah.
And that goes beyond what he did on the ice. I'm talking about what he did off the ice and using his platform, using the powers that be with his platform to do good for the community. And I'm sure a lot of fans know about this, but in 2012, 2013, Pecorine, along with Shea Weber, created the 365 Pediatric Cancer Fund, which helps the Vanderbilt. Is it the Vanderbilt Children's Hospital?
I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah.
Yes. And it's in association with the Nashville Predators Foundation, which does so much great work and so much charitable contributions to the Cancer Research Fund. And just his last season in 2020 and 2021 with the Preds, donated helped raise $365,000 fund in donations to that cancer fund.
Yep. And still involved with it along with Shea Weber.
Yes.
So
just before Rinne's retirement last season, Pekka Rinne got the trophy that, man, he really deserved, and it was so perfect that it happened right before he retired. The King Clancy Memorial Trophy, which is awarded every year to the humanitarian player both on and off the ice.
Yep. Well deserved for that one. Surprised he didn't win it before then, truthfully.
Yeah.
So I know he was nominated for it quite a bit, but good to see him get that, definitely.
To put it into context, though, this Thursday against the Dallas Stars, this ceremony is going to be very emotional, and there's going to be a lot of diehard Pretz fans who aren't going to be faking their tears. They're going to literally be crying.
No.
Because he has touched people in ways more so than just hockey.
Yeah.
And it's very hard for a professional athlete to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Because fans are they're very demanding. They expect results. And I can promise you that these fans who care so much about Pekka Rinne, they love him because of all the things he did on the ice, but they love him more for all the things he's done off the ice and the genuine great person that he is. So
absolutely.
We will be doing a live episode on Thursday for this. So are you ready for that, Rich?
It'll be, I don't know, maybe. We'll see. It'll be tough. That's for sure. I know the ceremonies, I think it's scheduled to go for an hour. It starts at 6:00 your time. Puck drops like at 7:30 for the game, Central Time. So, yeah, I think they got a lot of cool stuff planned. I know Shea Weber's coming back, and I'm sure they're going to have, tons of people that we haven't heard about. So
it's going to be awesome. And so then just 2 days later, the Preds are going to play in the Stadium Series against the Tampa Bay Lightning, their first ever hosted outdoor game. So what a week the Preds have ahead of them. And let's just hope, Rich, I know this is asking for a lot here, but somehow they're going to have to beat the Florida Panthers so that they can be on those winning ways and they have those positive flows going into Thursday. But we picked the worst team to go up against in this losing streak, the Florida Panthers. I mean, a buzzsaw of a team.
I'm going to be honest. They picked poorly all three of the teams for all the games coming up. I mean, Dallas on the night. I don't know, man.
I got something to say about that Dallas game, but I'll save it for later.
That's cool. You know how Dallas is. So they need to be up for that game. Out of all of them, I obviously want to see them do well in the Stadium Series game, but I really, really want them to win Thursday night. So I know it's a bigger audience on Saturday. There's going to be a lot more people watching and whatnot, but you got to win.
I get what you're saying.
The night they hang Pekka Rinne's jersey, you got to win that game.
And it's also against a division team that likely you're going to be battling head-to-head with for a wild card spot at this point.
Yeah. Who you just lost to and who is only like 4 points behind you at the moment. So, yeah, you need to get the job done. That's for sure.
But, yeah, so the Preds play the Florida Panthers on Tuesday night. And you're talking about a team that's 35-10-5 on the season, the Florida Panthers. A team that's just loaded with scores, with great goaltending. I mean, they're just like they're easily they're the Colorado Avalanche of the East. That's what I'm going to call them. That's what I'm going to call them right now.
You're right. So I was looking at some stats. So they haven't lost. They've only lost like 3 or 4 games in January and February. Jonathan Huberdeau has 70 points.
They've also only played 3 games since the All-Star break.
That's true. That is true.
But they beat Carolina 3-2. They beat Minnesota 6-2. And then they just beat Chicago 5-2. So if my math's correct, they have outscored their opponents 14-6 over their last 3 games. And I mean, they've got impressive wins. They beat Columbus 8-4 to close out January. They are piling up the goals. They beat San Jose 5-4. They beat Vegas 4-1. They beat Winnipeg 5-3. I mean, they are just scoring like crazy. They shut out Edmonton in January 6-0.
That's huge.
They beat Dallas 7-1 in January. They beat Columbus 9-2.
I remember that one.
They beat Calgary, a team that's just buzzing through everybody right now. They beat Calgary in early January 6-2. This team is putting up 5, 6, 7 goals regularly.
Yep. And like you said about goaltending, I remember last season Sergei Bobrovsky was struggling. Like there was talks about what did we do? Why did we get this guy? He's making a whole crap ton of money. What's going on? Well, he's definitely turned his game around. That's for sure, because he is playing really well. His numbers are actually do what? What'd you say?
Well, here's the thing. Okay, his numbers are good when you look at his record, but they're not any better than UC Saros's, and he's getting ridiculous goal support. I just listed off goal support that he's getting. He is a good goaltender. Don't get me wrong.
He is.
I mean, this is a goaltender that's not going to give up soft goals. So the Preds are going to have to work for it here. Yeah. But, man, I'm just –
they're going to have to work for it in front of him.
normally I am so optimistic on this show when it comes to thinking the Preds, but I don't feel good about Tuesday night at all, Rich.
I don't – well, yeah, I don't either. I really don't. Before the break – the way they were playing, if they were still like that, I would feel really good about it. But I don't have very much confidence right now in anything that they're doing. So I don't know what's going on, but it's insane. Like there's no other word to describe it.
The Panthers are the number 1 team in the league in goals for per game. Here's what will throw you off a little bit though here. The Panthers are very average on the power play. They're just 15th.
Oh, yeah. That's a little surprising.
And they're also middle of the road average in goals against per game. They're 15th in the league in goals against. So they give up a lot. They give up a decent amount of goals. They're just, when you're putting up 5, 6, sometimes 7, 8 goals in a game, who cares how bad your defense is? Who cares if your goaltending is a little shaky?
It doesn't matter. Yeah, if you can put up those kind of numbers, that's for sure.
The Preds have to figure out a way to, I don't know, like keep. Yeah. I mean, it seems like an impossible task to ask for the Preds to hold the Panthers under 4 goals. That's what I'm thinking right now. And I don't have a ton of confidence in the Predators scoring more than 3 goals. So that's kind of why this game, I just don't have hardly any confidence at all that they're going to be able to win this game.
Well, what's funny about when you look at the goals, the person with the highest goals has 23.
No, so they spread out the scoring.
It's all spread out. So
they're very spread out.
It's a little misleading, because you think, they're getting all these goals, but it's totally spread out over. I mean, they've got 10 players in double digits. So
and they're also another small market team. They're a non-traditional market team. Mm-hmm. And I mean, your diehard hockey fans know how good the Florida Panthers are, but they don't get the national recognition like they should. I don't feel like. But you're talking about Alexander Barkov. You're talking about Sam Bennett, Anthony DeClaire, Jonathan Huberdeau, Sam Reinhart. I mean, Aaron Ekblad is a really quality defenseman in this league. I mean, they're loaded. They got Patrick Hornfist, who used to play for the Preds. Yep. Mm-hmm. They got him in a sneaky good trade. I mean, it's just they're loaded, man. I mean, they're built to win a Stanley Cup. Panthers, Colorado Avalanche Stanley Cup would be must watch.
Oh yeah, and that definitely could happen. That's for sure. Jonathan Huberdeau has 70 points. That's pretty strong.
And we've known how good he is for a while now. I mean, so I think the only way the Predators are going to win this game is, I mean, literally they're going to have to like minimize the mistakes to almost zero. The margin for error is going to be pretty thin. You're going to have to hope that Saros has one of those games in his back pocket where he just can steal a game for you, maybe make some saves that he has no business making, which he's been doing that recently. It's just, I mean, the biggest problem with this Preds team I'm seeing right now is the consistent scoring has just fallen off. It has. I mean, that's the thing that's really hurting this team. And I wrote about it today on Predlines about, like it's been the perfect storm against this team this month. I mean, you throw in the really difficult opponents, you throw all these days off in between, and the scoring has really dried up a little bit. I mean, that's a big deal right now. And I mean, I threw this out there. Philip Forsberg, he's your most reliable scorer, obviously. Mm-hmm. He's not scoring as high of a rate as he once was. He's got just one goal in his last 4 games.
Yep, that can't happen.
Here's a big player that I'm sorry, and he's been brought up before. He's gotten plenty of criticism. Right now, he deserves it. I feel like he's going back to his old ways of MIA. Where are you at? Let's put his face on a milk carton type of thing. Ryan Johansen, where are you?
Yep, you're right. There's so many people you can point your finger at, the struggles that they're all having.
Ryan Johansen, listen to this real quick, Rich. Ryan Johansen, he's a
big one.
He has 3 points in his last 8 games and has only scored 3 goals since the New Year's Day win against the Blackhawks.
Wow.
3 goals. And I know he's not a heavy goal scorer, but he's got to get more involved. I mean, this is a player that's gotta get you through this. He's got to show you something. He's got to, like, Philip Forsberg has done a lot this season for you. He's having a career year. Matt Duchene has risen to the occasion. Tanner Jeannot. I mean, what else can you ask from him?
Yeah,
but
definitely.
You're looking elsewhere through this lineup, and you're thinking, who needs to give us more right now? Ryan Johansen is the first player I look at.
I 100% agree with you. And like you said, he's been accused of that in the past, dropping off the face of the planet. And this is the time, like right now is when they need him and the rest of these guys the most. Like they're in a bad way right now. Like they are hurting. If they go through too many more, if they go like lose too many more of these, playoffs are going to be tough to get into. I hate to say that, but
they're already in it. They're already in the thick of it right now. I mean, they're 3 points ahead of Anaheim from being out of the playoffs altogether right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you've got teams like the Anaheim Ducks, the LA Kings, the Winnipeg Jets, the Dallas Stars. Those are your top 4 teams right now, where the Preds are going to be kind of battling for a wild card spot. Now, I will say the Preds are also only 4 points behind the St. Louis Blues to be back in the top 3. So, I mean, they're still very much like in the middle of going one direction or the other.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's close, man. It's like
and where they're sitting with what the schedule looks like, that's what's tough.
And just a couple weeks ago, Rich, on this show, we were talking about how their playoff odds were over 90%. Guess where moneypuck.com has their playoff odds today? 62%.
62. Okay. It was 65 the other day. So, yeah.
It's dropped. It's dropped like crazy. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not good. They've got some stuff to figure out. That's for sure.
Let's bring Kyle Perkins in. Kyle Perkins. Yeah, let's bring him in.
Look who it is.
Evening, fellas.
It's the boy Kyle.
What's up, Kyle?
Oh, same old.
I like your
Same old.
I have the exact same one as you.
I like that.
I was looking for the match to yours.
I didn't get the
and I couldn't
memo.
find it.
I know, right?
Guys, I would have went out and bought an Adidas hoodie if y'all would have told me.
There you go.
You
That's
should.
So left out.
They're ridiculously comfortable.
It's so left out right now. You two just talk amongst yourselves the rest of the episode. I'm just going to sit here as I feel so left out.
That's awesome.
Gosh, me and Roman Yossi bobblehead here, we're just going to sit and just by ourselves over here. Yeah, I mean, wow. All right. Welcome in, though, Kyle. We're happy to have you. We got plenty of juicy topics for you, obviously, because that's what we love to have you on here for is juicy topics. But
yeah.
Before we get into some of the topics we have lined up for you to join us with, we want to get into your Perks picks first. That's what we want to get into first, and then we'll save the other topics after that.
Sounds like a plan.
Awesome.
All right, so we'll start off. And this week we're doing the Preds honey-do list.
Oh,
ooh,
all right.
Okay. Honey-do list. Take out the garbage. I know that one. That one's empty out the dishwasher.
So, we're going to start out with clean the gutters. And we're going to start with clean out the leaves and gunk out of the gutters and save that baby bird on the fourth line. And that's Philip Tomasino.
Good one. Look at you.
So
the mother bird built the nest in the gutters, and you're saving the baby bird. I get you.
Yes, we need to save the baby bird because the baby bird does not need to be playing with Michael McCarron and Cole Smith, who are AHLers at best. You look back. Tomasino played well with Tommy Novak.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Cody Glass, who's came on strong in the AHL, and I've just cannibalized my third pick, and that was plant the garden with Novak and Glass. So I'll put that in there too, because you've already sprouted those two. Let them grow. So you need to bring one of those two guys up and let them play with Tomasino. He needs a. It's so frustrating to watch him do all this work. He'll steal the puck and start bringing it up ice through a defense that he shouldn't be carrying it most likely. And he does it successfully only to see his line mates that can't handle a pass. Yeah. Nothing fancy, just a plain pass, and it goes right past him. And I'm just worried about are you going to ruin Tomasino's confidence by him? Because
that's a good point.
I understand they're probably putting him on that line to where he's forced to play a little more defense. He's trying to get a little bit of that grit in his game. But if any,
so who should be on the fourth line then? Just playing devil's advocate here, because I feel like the Preds are kind of like really set on their top three lines. They're very happy with it, and I mean, we're going to say this for the end of the episode. We'll turn it into a full segment, but is it time for the Preds to shake up this lineup? And Tomasino is the one that's right at the forefront that we all probably feel like he's the one that needs to be moved if we're going to shake this lineup up. So, Kyle, I'm really curious to get your opinion on who would move in his spot and who would you exchange him with?
I don't have a problem per se with Tomasino being on that line, but my issue is his line mates.
Gotcha.
I don't have any trouble with him playing small minutes, sheltered minutes. He's young, but he needs a decent. Either let him play center. I know they're really not wanting to let him do that right now at the NHL level, but either let him play center or put Novak or Glass with him.
Yeah.
And then have Nick Cousins, whenever he's healthy, play on the wing on that line to be kind of the little bit elder statesman and protector of that group. So that's
well, I mean,
opinion.
And you're seeing you've seen with Nick Cousins out. I mean, they brought Cole Smith up. I mean, you just can't expect much out of him. But yeah,
sitting back today. They sent Cole Smith back today and brought up Matt
Luff's
Luff.
back, which I like Matt Luff.
Matt Luff he's played a lot better in his time in Nashville this year than Smith has. Smith is invisible.
But the problem is, and this is what Kyle's saying, and this is what a lot of people are saying, and I agree with it, is, I mean, Tomasino, his skill set is not going to really benefit with where he's at, with the line mates he's playing with. And then also, this is on a much larger scale, but this is what happened with Matt Duchene last season. He was with the wrong line mates, and everyone was banging their heads about how, well, yeah, what do you expect's going to happen when Matt Duchene's playing with some of the players that he's playing with? Yep. And so if you're going to shake the lineup up, Tomasino is the first player you need to look at. Like, let's figure out something to maximize his skill set better.
Yeah, and I think the answers for that are all in-house. I think you could make, between the Preds and the Admirals, you can make an efficient, good fourth line that is going to be responsible defensively and have a little bit of a scoring touch. Which leads me to my next pick, and that is pick up the trash. And that is secondary scoring. They need to get secondary scoring. These dirty goals, these not so fancy things. And one guy that has been doing that here the last little bit's Luke Cunnin, who's been playing well. And and a guy that needs to do that, it's Eeli Tolvanen.
Yes.
And he's just riding this I'm going to be 2021 Matt Duchene thing till it's going to die from it.
Yeah.
That kid can't buy a goal. I
agree. Does it feel like to you they were getting those goals earlier in the season? Because I remember they were doing a really good job of that, and then all of a sudden it just
I think the law of averages are catching up with them, Rich.
Yeah.
Well, the shooting percentages were super high, and it was just.
But Eeli Tolvanen never benefited from those high shooting percentages. That's the problem. Like, he has been. No. I mean, everyone brings up Tomasino all the time, and earlier in the episode, right before you came on, Kyle, I mentioned Ryan Johansen is the number one player that I am screaming off the rooftops that I need to see you more. I need you to do something here. Like, I mean, you've got 3 goals in the new year. 3 goals. That's it. You've got 3 points in the last 8 games. That is awful. That is awful.
Okay. I will give you that, but I will
Cody
also
Glass
raise
could
you
do
this.
that. Cody Glass could get me 3 points in 8 games.
Who has Ryan Johansen played with over those games? How many different line mates has he had? He's had Tolvanen, he's had Cunnin, he's had Cousins, he's had just a revolving door of line mates. They have this top line that's set, and then this second line is kind of liquid, as you could say. And it's actually one of my other picks is Joey needs new friends.
How fitting. That's awesome.
And this is probably not going to be popular because I want to break up everybody's favorite line.
You want to break up Forsberg's line?
No, everybody's favorite line.
You want to break up the Herd line, huh?
Gotcha.
Put Jeannot back with Johansen. Those two had something
right now.
Yeah, it's like
whenever those two played, what was it, 3 or 4 games there together, they had something going. You could see how excited Johansen was to be playing with Jeannot. Jeannot was scoring goals. That's whenever he was on that little clip of 4 games in a row he scored goals. And they were all whenever he was playing with Johansen. And then keep Tolvanen there. Stop moving Tolvanen around. Stop bouncing him around lines. That said, you take Luke Cunnin, move him down to the Herd line. I don't think he's out of place on that line. Cunnin plays that same style of hockey. He would fit in well with Trennan and Sissons.
Mm.
I think that could be a catalyst to help things up, and it's still not putting Jeannot up on a top line. He's still a middle six guy, which is what I think he is. But to add on to that, Johansen, you can tell the frustration. You can tell he's tired of getting pushed around. He's took some really bad penalties from just being agitated the last couple of games.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Last game, especially.
If you put him out there with a Jeannot's going to be the one to retaliate and know how to not get in that much trouble for it. He's going to light a guy up and not get penalized or end up in a fight and both of them go out instead of a double minor against Nashville and you've got two guys sitting in the box.
Yeah. Well, you got to do something, Kyle, because, and I mean, that's why I'm open-minded to this whole scenario because, I mean, they're kind of getting exposed right now. Let's just be honest. I mean, the Preds are getting exposed. They're playing against very top-tier quality teams. And, I mean, I know John Hines came out after the Capitals game, and we did a live watch-along episode for that. And he talked like the Preds played a great game, and it just hockey can be cruel sometimes. That's really what I got out of that. And
it was the best game they've played since coming back from the All-Star break.
Yeah. I get it, but
and they hit 5 posts, so that was bad.
Yeah, I get it, but at the same time, I was like, it's not really what I wanted to hear from a coach that's looking at a team that even if you want to think that game, you kind of had unlucky bounces. I mean, the trend of this team is just not going in the right direction. Even take that game out, and you're playing against teams that where if you really feel like this team can do something in the playoffs, well, then you got to win some of these games, and they're just not. I mean, I know they made a spirited comeback, if you want to call it that, against Carolina, but I didn't get any inclination in that game that they've made any progress from last season to this season when it comes to playing head-to-head against the Carolina Hurricanes from that last playoff series. Like, I felt outmatched. It felt outmatched to me. It felt outmatched.
Yeah. Hines actually switched some lines up for that game too. So,
which you're not going to – I mean, we're not going to play the Carolina Hurricanes in the playoffs unless we make the Stanley Cup final. I'm just saying, like, it's a measuring stick type of thing for me this month. And you're playing against these top-tier teams, and you're just not getting the result. And, I mean, then you get Florida tomorrow night, and it's like, wow, okay. Let's put our big boy britches on here because, you know.
Yeah, they're no joke.
No, they're not.
Nashville tried to play Carolina and Carolina style of play, and that's never going to go well for you. Nashville does not have fast enough skaters, barring Roman Yossi and maybe Duchesne.
Yeah, they're not a speed team. They're not a speed team at all.
And they tried to play speed versus Carolina, and it's not going to work. That's why you're getting dumb stick penalties because you're getting beat.
Yep.
That you pull back, play defensively. You're not as fast as them, so you have to defend better than them. You have to defend better than their speed rush. It's just.
And now they're about to play the team that scores the most goals per game in the league. They're regularly putting up 5, 6, 7 goals in games. They are wiping the floor with teams. If you go back and look since January, I mean, it's just like this is the type of game though, where if the Preds could figure out a way to win a grinded out type of game, it's a statement. It could send a message like, okay, we've worked it out. It's time to get down to business.
Yep. We're having troubles, but we figured it out.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, this is the game right here.
That'll go into my next pick, and that's mow the yard.
Nope.
You got to clean it up in front of UC.
Oh, boy, do
you got to clean it up. You've got to –
preach, Kyle.
You've got the chances, the high-danger chances, the breakaways. Good God, how many breakaways has Saros faced in the last month?
Yeah, exactly.
versus the rest of the league, how many shots has he faced in the last month? It is absolutely astounding that he's even still a remotely good goalie.
I don't know if it's I don't know how much it's changed, but I know like a couple weeks ago I looked at it and he was definitely leading the league in shots against by like I know he was leading the league in saves by over 100 or close to 100. I'm sure it's close to the same still. I mean,
and we as fans have such high expectations for him when he does let in soft goals. We're just like, the world's going to end, you know what I mean? And it's almost not fair, but you know, we do.
Well, what really makes
standards, so
what really makes you mad is if you're not someone who watches the Preds religiously, like let's say you're an outsider and all you do is catch the highlights every now and then, you might be thinking that UC Saros is regressing this season. You might think that Saros is having a horrible year without Becker, and that might be your narrative if you don't follow this team closely. But I mean, we all know that that's not the case. But it's kind of it just kind of stinks that Saros is definitely not getting any favors when it comes to. I mean, but these are the kind of things that I know David Poyle's having to think about as the trade deadline's a month away from tonight. And I mean, it's tough, man. I mean, it's tough, but it's definitely correctable. It's definitely correctable. I do think the team can definitely correct it. And I've been really saying this for a while. I mean, these days off between these games is just brutal. It drives you just as crazy as the losses themselves because you have to sit around. Imagine how we feel as fans. Imagine how the players are feeling who are actually playing the games. They can't get back out there after a day of practice. They got to sit around 2 or 3 days. You know, they can't get in a groove. It's got to be hard. It's got to be difficult. I know they'd much rather be playing back-to-backs right now than getting these 3 days off between games.
The only goalie who has faced more shots than UC Saros this year is Conor Hillebuck. And he has 1343 and Saros has 1335. Wow. They both have 42 games played.
Yeah, so that's like splitting hairs there, yeah.
And then it's 100 and some back to Thatcher Demko.
Wow.
So
yep, there you go. And Conor Hillebuck's not having a great year either by his standards. So it's like, I mean, there is something to it. Like, I mean, when a goaltender is constantly getting just peppered every game with 30, 40 plus shots on the regular, it's like, I mean, they're human. They're going to, you know, like it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you look as bad as Chicago's been this year, where did he go? Marc-Andre Fleury's faced 150 less shots.
Yeah.
Well,
I think they give him breaks though. Saros doesn't get any breaks. True. But still, it's crazy. Like to think that
I think David Riddick's been on his Hawaii beach vacation for like 2 months now.
He's hanging out with Lucas Pisa.
Riddick's been sipping pina coladas on the beach for like a month now. Like I think they're gonna have to call him back for March, but he's like, yeah, you guys just let me know when you need me. Like I'm just gonna be over here, like on vacation. I don't know.
It says Riddick has 7 games played this year. I just don't remember but like 2.
Yeah.
I know for sure but I think he came in relief one game or something. I know he's got like, there was one game I feel like where he came in like towards the end or something like that. But yeah, one of the reasons why it's so hard to remember how many starts he has off of memory is because they've been so spread out. I mean,
that's right. Absolutely.
And he had the COVID stretch too. He was out for COVID for a while early in the season. So it's like, We're definitely going to see him in March. And I think I even read somewhere that they plan to start Riddick at some point this month, like even though there's no back-to-backs. So we could see him tomorrow night. I know the Preds like to wait till the last hour before the game to announce a starting goaltender. But I did read somewhere. I want to say it was David Poyle, or it might have been John Hines in an interview on 102.5 The Game, the flagship radio station down here, that they expected Riddick to get a start this month at some point. So, I mean,
I don't see how he does it.
I don't either.
I'm just going off what I want to say it was John Hines that said it actually, but I thought it was weird when I read it. But you're not going to start him against Dallas when you're honoring Pecorine, like obviously.
No.
But yeah, you're not going to. You're obviously not going to start Riddick in the Stadium Series game.
No.
So
even though he's got the cool pads,
and you're really going to start him.
Very cool pads.
But you're going to start him out of the blue against Florida, a team that's putting up like 5 or 6 goals a game, and they're the number one scoring team in the league. Yeah,
I can't see how they're going to do that.
I can't see it either. But I don't know.
Whatever. Maybe they know something we don't.
Yeah, that's.
I'm just going off what was said, and I can try to find the exact quote. But
very crazy stuff right there.
You got another pick, Kyle?
No, we actually blew through them that quick because two of them kind of got blended.
They went on
blended.
A little tangent. The one you said about mow the lawn and clean up in front of Saros,
that was good. Yeah,
the most poignant one. That's absolutely needs to happen because they are not good with that right now. They used to be. Not now.
They the rebounds are uncontested a lot of the times. You can't just leave him out to dry. I mean, he's not going to be able to dead stop every puck that hits him. You've got to be coming to your net to get that puck away from it. So,
there was a couple in the last 2 games that were like that. They were very easy goals for off the rebound. So, don't like it.
Man, that drives me crazy. I cannot remember where I saw that David Riddick statement, but anyway. I think that I would be shocked if he actually starts at any point, like, because Saros is. I mean, you've got to live and die by Saros at this point, honestly. Like, I mean, especially in these games against these opponents with these days off. I mean, you just got to roll with it and hope that he can honestly steal you a game or two. Like, I mean, but anyway.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. So we are presented by DraftKings, our official sponsor of the podcast. We love DraftKings. DraftKings was awesome during the NFL season, but the NFL season is now over. And so now we've got an awesome deal for our Hoops fans. Hoops fans, NBA fans, the latest offer from DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA, is too good to pass up. I'm talking between the legs 360 windmill good. Kyle, did you do any 360 windmill dunks in your high school days?
That's going to be a hard no.
Hard no, bud.
I didn't either. I did check I watched the slam dunk contest because I used to love that, and I fell asleep like in the first 5 minutes. I'm not even lying. It was bad. It was hard to watch.
I didn't watch any of it, so.
It's not like it used to be. I remember them doing them over cars and stuff like that.
No, this was like. These dunks are like dunks you can see if you just go to your local like YMCA. Like these guys are dunking this way, and this is how they were dunking on the. It was kind of hard to watch, but the NBA season is heating up, and when NBA heats up, it is fun to watch. And so new customers can bet just one. Yeah, he's heating up. NBA Jam. New customers can bet just.
That game. He's heating up.
New customer. We're showing our age right now, gentlemen.
Yeah.
New customers can bet just $1 on any team and get $150 in free bets if that team wins. It's that simple. Right now, Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use promo code THPN. Bet just $1 on any NBA team and get $150 in free bets if they win. That's promo code THPN at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. 21 and up, minimum age and location requirements vary by jurisdiction. Rich, do you think I'm not going to get tongue twisted this time?
You have like 4 states you have to give their numbers.
On this script read, we're going to see. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for a full list of requirements and state-specific responsible gaming resources. Void where prohibited. Minimum $5 deposit. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Tennessee, call or text the Tennessee Red Line, 1-800-889-9789. In Connecticut, call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat. In New York, call 877-8-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. I'm dead.
Man, that's crazy.
I did way better than the last time.
That's
so what? The New York one is the one. HOPENY.
What we're trying to tell everyone is, if I went through the trouble of reading that script, please go get the DraftKings Sportsbook app and play some NBA basketball bets. Don't make me do that for nothing. Also, if the Sportsbook isn't available in your state yet, because there are a few states out there that still don't let gambling happen, then you can still take your shot at a big payday. Everyone can play for huge cash prizes with DraftKings Daily Fantasy Basketball Contest. DraftKings is giving all new customer a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes with their first deposit. Go do that.
And NASCAR season is upon us, and I bet there's some NASCAR stuff.
There is. There actually is. It's really.
I know there's a big, huge fantasy thing. So
there is. You can make your NASCAR driver.
Yeah,
there needs. I don't know what is it the Xfinity series now? What the Busch series used to be?
It is.
So we were at my son and daughter's birthday party at the future in-laws on Saturday while that race was going on, and I happened to walk by the TV in the house, and I noticed one of the guys running in that race. His last name was Weatherman. And it's spelled as Weatherman.
Oh, that's too perfect.
I see.
That's great.
I want to know if somebody has a line if he wins a race via rain delay.
No, that's too perfect.
It would be the most epic thing to happen in the history of NASCAR.
Yeah.
But
I will tell you. So I watched a little bit of the Daytona 500. I've actually been to the Daytona 500. It is everything you think it would be. I know a lot of people don't like NASCAR or whatever, but it's crazy. It was a lot of fun.
I've never been to Daytona, but I've been to Talladega.
Oh, that's just as crazy.
Talladega is literally like a gigantic outdoor camping party.
That's
like
Daytona's like.
People are just like, it's the largest tailgate that I've ever seen in my life to this day. And it's just like insane.
I was at the first NASCAR race at Kentucky Speedway.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, nice.
And it was an experience.
Did you make it in? Because that was a problem.
I walked like 5.5 miles.
Yeah.
We didn't even park in the county of the racetrack.
Yeah, they had parking problems the first year. So
well, they're trying to bring a NASCAR like race back to Nashville. Like I'm talking like the top end. You know, they
did one last year.
I'm not the biggest racing guy anymore, but what's the top series called now? I know what's it called? It's not the Sprint Cup, is it? It's the
it was Monster last year.
Is it Monster? Is it still Monster?
I don't remember.
Either way, the top. Someone help us out here.
NASCAR.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're trying to bring that back to Nashville. Like they're trying to do that. So
they had one last year and it was really good. So it's a lot of fun. I like going. It's I haven't been in a long time. We used to go all the time, but it's still pretty fun. So
it's just called the Cup Series, I think.
Oh, is it?
It doesn't even have a sponsor now. Okay, well,
But
I'm old enough to remember when it was called the Winston Cup Series.
oh
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I think that's what it was when I went and saw the Daytona 500.
Okay.
So
Wow, we're really dating ourselves
it's been a
tonight,
while.
guys. Like we gotta stop doing that. All right,
It's been a
let's
while.
get into the next. Let's get into this next segment here of Catfish on Ice, episode 107, presented by DraftKings with Chad Minton, Rich Howe, and Kyle Perkins. And these NHL trade rumors are heating up. It's my favorite time of year, other than the playoffs themselves. And just because I love all the rumors, like I can't get enough of the articles. Like I'll spend like, even if some of these articles might be spewing crap, like I can't get enough of it. I can't get enough of it because you just like work all these scenarios in your head. What teams are going to be buyers? And one team that's really got me fascinated on what they're going to do, other than the Predators, obviously, is the Dallas Stars. I mean, you're talking about a team. Well, you're talking about a team that's definitely got two players who are highly coveted on the market, Joe Pavelski and John Klingberg. But they're not going to let these players go if they have a chance at the playoffs. So it's like, what's going to happen with them? And so they are the team that I'm really focused on. I really want to see where those two players end up going because the Stars, their window is shutting pretty much this season. So
this would be it. I would say so. Joe Pavelski, man, is having himself a season. I will say that.
For a 37-year-old guy, he's killing it.
53 points in 49 games played.
I could totally see Joe Pavelski if the Stars, even if the Stars are hanging around the playoff race, I could see the Stars sending away Pavelski and getting a large haul in return for him. I could see Pavelski going to a team like the New York Rangers. They are very active in the trade market. You see the Rangers in pretty much every article you read, and you're like, which teams are interested in this player? The New York Rangers are like involved in every single deal. So the Rangers are going to land themselves a big player. You can go ahead and book it right now. They're going to add somebody to their roster. They're one of those teams that's all in this year. Let's see. What else is going on out there? Phil Kessel, we've talked about him on this team. I feel like he's one of the more realistic players that maybe the Preds could target. The Coyotes are on full. They're like the people who are having the big ass garage sale in their front yard that just takes up the entire block in the neighborhood. Like they're
they're doing the garage sale where it's at the end of the day at the garage sale, and they're like,
no.
Hey man, this stuff's got to go.
The Coyotes are the house on the block that their yard sale has got aisles like a freaking Target.
Yes.
They've got like 5 aisles and 2 checkout lanes. That's the Coyotes right now.
Yeah.
Like everybody's for sale.
We got to get rid of all this. Make an offer. Yeah. They got rid of one of their goaltenders today, Carter Hutton,
who played for Nashville. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Carter Hutton. He was a decent player. He didn't play here for very long, but Carter Hutton, I'd have to look up the exact years he played here. But he was definitely a backup. He was a backup to Pecorine, if I remember correctly.
He went to the Maple Leafs, actually, for future considerations. So there you go. So they've gotten rid of a few guys here.
I mean, he's 36 years old. I mean, he had some good years. Yeah, he played for Nashville for 3 years, from 2013 to 2016.
Yeah.
So 66 starts for Nashville, 33, 23, and 12 record.
Yeah.
91 save percentage, 2.55 goals against average. So he wasn't bad for Nashville. He wasn't bad.
Yeah.
But
the Coyotes got Nick Ritchie from Toronto, so they're kind of making.
So I'm gonna throw a player out at you guys that's really starting to gain my attention as far as if the Preds are going to buy somebody, if they are going to go out and make a splash. Let's say it's inevitable. David Poile is like, you know what? My time as a GM is coming close to an end. I got to make a move. It's only human. I want to make a move. I want to win a Stanley Cup. There's one player that's really got me intrigued, and I want to ask y'all's opinion on it. Brock Besser of the Vancouver Canucks.
Ooh, that is a swing. That's going to cost. That is going to cost.
I know it's going to cost, Kyle, but he's a player that I feel like he could be part of your long-term future if you sign him. You've got a chance to actually keep him long-term. He's going to be a restricted free agent, so that means you've got a chance to hold on to him. But it would be a risk, Kyle. Of course it would be a risk. It would be a major risk. And I've read some I know Frank Saravelli of the Daily Faceoff wrote a really good article recently covering the entire Central Division when it came to each team and what they might do at the trade deadline. And when he talked about the Preds, he brought up Luke Cunnin as a player that could be potentially shopped by the Preds if they want to make a deal.
I could see that. He hasn't exactly panned out to the level that they wanted him to, I don't think.
He also brought up Nick Cousins as well as a player they could try to shop. And he even brought up Rocco Grimaldi. But if you're going to, I didn't really see the Rocco Grimaldi part of it. The only way you would include Rocco Grimaldi in a trade package is if you're offering him as a smaller part of a larger trade package. Like Grimaldi's not going to be the main focal point of your trade package if you're looking to get one of these big targets.
Yeah, but somebody do well on other teams.
No, I'd be willing to throw Grimaldi into some of these trade packages if that's indeed what Poyle wants to do. I mean, I know a lot of us don't want the Preds to even. I wrote an article for Predlines saying if the Preds are going to be buyers, they better be super cautious. Like I'm talking cautious buyers. Like you better have a budget in place, and you better be careful about it because what the Preds really are what the Preds are in danger of doing with this trade deadline, and this is what has everyone scared to death, including myself, is they are in danger of undoing all the progress they've made as far as rebuilding this team if they go and swing for the fences for some of these players that are out there. And you go out and get one of these players, and all they do is get you a first-round exit anyway, and then you're out a first-round draft pick. You're out a prospect that you loved or whatever, and then you're left thinking like, it was all for that, just to lose in the first round anyway. That's the dilemma that David Poyle's dealing with right now.
Yeah.
But I do like Brock Besser. I really like Brock Besser, and I would love to have him.
He's a good player. Definitely wouldn't be a bad one to have around.
Just because I think you could keep Brock Besser. I think you could actually retain him in the offseason. So, like, my thing is if the Preds are going to go out and buy one of these players, you need to go get a player that you have a chance to keep as part of your long-term future. I do not want any part in any rentals. Steer clear of the rentals.
No. Unless you do a sign and trade kind of deal.
Yeah.
Rich, do you have any? Is there any players out there that you think the Preds should maybe like realistically look at, or are you like, let's just stay out of it and let's just?
It's so tough. I mean, I would if they were playing like they were before the break, I would say go swing for the fence, get somebody. Because they looked good. They had a good chance. But now I just don't think it would be a good idea. Like for the reasons you said, everything you listed out, that is probably why they shouldn't do that. So
there's one guy that I've kind of like, it wouldn't hurt my feelings if they traded a Cunnin or something like Cunnin in a package to get, and that would be DeBrusque.
Yep.
Yeah, we've talked about him.
I was gonna bring him up. Yeah, I would definitely take him in a heartbeat if they could come up with something, because that dude
just seems.
I
love that
for Boston. So
he's the classic player that just needs new scenery. It seems like
absolutely. Yeah.
But here's the thing about that is that it's not crystal clear that the team even wants to trade him. They've been pretty I've read some articles where the GM of the Bruins, I don't have his name in front of me, but he's pretty much said we're very committed to keeping him here. He's been playing very well for us. We believe in him, yada, yada, yada. But DeBrusk hasn't really said anything that would change the mind that because he made big news like a while ago, like back in December, basically wanting to be traded. And that made big news at the time. And so he would be a perfect fit for this team. You're talking about a young player that has very high potential, has shown he can score the puck, which is what this team desperately needs. Let's be honest. We have plenty of players who can play defense. And that's kind of where Luke Cunning comes into play as far as you could live with maybe trading him away, because do we really know how high his ceiling is as far as being a scorer? I mean, he does a lot of really good things, and I really appreciate his style of play. But you're talking about a very big team need that the Preds have right now at that position.
Huge need. And DeBrusk is only a few seasons away from having like huge numbers. Like he just hasn't for the past couple.
You could catch him at the right time, maybe for a relatively low asking price, possibly. And then you could just make out like a king, in return. But that's a good one, Kyle. There's not a lot of players out there though that I really feel like the Preds are in the market for. It's very few and far between.
Yeah, I don't really see there being a whole lot. There's just not a glaring enough need to go outside the organization that you're going to weaken your team for in the future to improve.
Well, especially considering how promising the prospect pool is right now. I mean, you're talking about a prospect pool that some scouts have their prospect pool like in the top 10 at this point. Like their prospect pool has shown a lot of improvement. So,
and what you said right there. So we really have enjoyed how well they've played this season, and I would not, even if they do turn everything back around, I would not want to jeopardize the future, even if it means, dare I say, they have to lose Philip Forsberg. I would not want to jeopardize the momentum they have going, just to have a chance at maybe getting to the Stanley Cup final again. I just don't want them to go down that road.
We know that. I mean, crazy things happen all the time in the playoffs, but the writing's on the wall.
It is on the wall.
We're not a Stanley Cup team. I mean, yes, we could eat our words and they can make the playoffs. There were a lot of people in 2017 who were saying this team's not a playoff team. They barely squeaked into the playoffs in 2017. People forget that. They barely made the playoffs that year.
Yeah.
And we were all like, oh, we made the playoffs and we get to play the Blackhawks. Oh, joy. They're going to sweep us. Like, that's literally what people were saying to each other. So it can happen. Yeah, it can happen. But, All right.
I think, real quick, I was just going to say somebody put on Twitter that if playoffs happen today, the Predators would face Calgary. So.
Oh, that's going to go lovely.
You'd have that monster to deal with. So on a 10-game heater right now. So crazy.
Well, this is a perfect segue into the last segment of our episode 107 of Catfish on Ice. Perfect timing. Let's go rapid fire here. I've got 4 scenarios, 4 questions, and we're going to rate our confidence level 1 to 10. The Preds confidence meter is back. We're going to do this rapid fire, go around the table, and give us our confidence level here. My first one here, gentlemen. Your confidence level 1 to 10. Preds finish above Dallas and Winnipeg in the Central. Rich, you go, then Kyle, you go, then I'll go. Rich, you go first. 1
I'm
to 10.
going to say it's tough to package them both like that, but
well, that's important.
That is important.
If you're going to make the playoffs, you better finish ahead of both of them, most likely.
I'm going to be a negative person right now and say 6.
I thought you were going to say -1 or something. You said negative. I was
negative.
like...
No, -1. No, I mean, anything can happen, but they are just in a bad way right now. So
you're saying 6 out of 10 though, so you're still more confident than not than they
anything can
finish.
happen.
All right.
Anything can
All
happen.
right. Kyle, where's your confidence level on that? They finish ahead of Dallas and Winnipeg in the standings.
I got to go right about the same as Rich. I was going to go with a 7 to start with, and I don't know. It just both of them, and both of those two teams have been playing a whole lot better here lately. If they weren't kind of on a little bit of a heater individually, it'd be different. But
Dallas,
but they're both coming off losses though, to bad losses. Dallas lost to Arizona on Sunday 3-1, and Winnipeg lost to Chicago 3-1 earlier tonight.
So there's hope.
The thing about Dallas is they're just so hard to figure out. They're so hard to understand. Like, I mean, they're just like, you never know what you're going to get out of them.
Absolutely.
But they're the type of team where if they make the playoffs, would you be surprised if they went on a run? Yeah. That's kind of who Dallas is. I'm going to go 6 out of 10, Rich. Actually, we didn't share our responses before tonight, but me and Rich are on the same page here. We're all kind of on the same page here. Yep. I went 6 out of 10, so I'm very mildly confident that the Preds will finish ahead of Dallas and Winnipeg in the Central. But, of course, they are 4 points ahead of Dallas, and they're 8 points ahead of Winnipeg at this point. The Preds still have 2 games left against Dallas. They have no games left against Winnipeg, which I found. Yeah. Can you answer this for me, guys? One of you. Why is it that they're both division teams, but if you look at the Preds schedule, they've already played 3 games against Winnipeg. They don't play them again, but they play 4 games against Dallas. Is that a normal scheduling format? I thought you played all division teams the same amount of times.
I have no idea. I would have thought you would. That seems really weird.
It would only make sense to play them the same amount. Otherwise, it's lopsided. Kind of odd.
Yeah. I don't know. If you look at the Press schedule, I looked it over like numerous times. They only play Winnipeg 3 times this year. They play Dallas 4 times. I don't know.
Weird.
Might be a travel thing as well.
Probably. No, all right, let's go to our next one here. Your confidence level, 1 being they don't do it, 10 being they do it. They trade for another team's starter. So they go out and get themselves a big-time starter from another team. Rich, where's your confidence level on that?
I think it's at a 4 or a 5. I just don't.
Okay.
I don't think.
You don't think they're going to do it?
No, I don't. And I just don't think they would do it. I think they're going to probably stay in pat like he's done for several years, but
okay.
5 maybe. I don't know. They might try to get somebody, but a starter, that'd be huge.
I'm talking like an important starter for a team right now.
So you're talking like Thomas Hertl or
not Thomas Hertl, but someone like that. Yeah, like a player. Yeah, but I'm talking about like a player that's definitely playing meaningful minutes for another team right now.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Probably 4 or 5.
Considering Poyle's history, I'm going to say about a 10, and it's going to be some 6 foot, 8 foot, 12 guy from the Deutsche Extraliga or something like that. He's going to sign Corbinian Holzer again.
Is he a starter right now?
Yeah, for some team in Germany.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Or the KHL.
I guess I didn't.
I see what you're saying, though. I see what you're saying.
He's starting somewhere. All right.
He's starting somewhere.
Yeah. Okay.
You're talking you're talking like Joe Pavelski, somebody like that.
Oh, yeah, right. I know. And as far as Chad's meaning of the question, I'm going to give it
that was still good. That was still good.
That was good.
All right, for the real meaning of the question, Kyle, I went with a 3 as well, 3 out of 10. I think Poyle is also going to stand pat, like Rich says. No big splashes here, in my opinion. I think in the end, the asking prices out there are going to be too high for Poyle.
Yep.
And you're seeing it. These asking prices for some of these players are ridiculous. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. And maybe you've got some of these teams out there like the New York Rangers who are like, you know what? We're going to do it. I don't think the Preds are in that spot in their rebuild and in their and I think David Poyle is probably going to see that. And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't see any big splashes. They might sign they might make a very minor addition, maybe a player who might occasionally get in the lineup or boost up the prospect pool. But I don't see them doing anything major at all at the trade deadline. But that's us sitting a month away. So ask us in 2 weeks and we might change our mind. But
Poyle's not going to have time to go butter up any other players because he's going to be too busy buttering up Philip Forsberg to begging him to stay after this little bump in the road that they've hit. So,
all right, here's the next one I got for you. We'll go to Kyle first on this one. Your confidence level 1 to 10 that the Preds win another game in the rest of February. So we got 3 games left. So.
Oh gosh.
So that's Florida, Dallas, and Tampa the rest of the month.
They win one of those 3 games, Kyle.
That's your confidence level. You know what's sad that you even have to think about this? Because you would think the way they were playing just like a couple weeks ago, you would have said 10 out of 10. Oh, but now it's like, I don't know.
Well, Florida and Tampa just seem like they're so far out of reach right now. It kind of leaves Dallas, and Dallas kind of handled them the last time. Oh, Lord.
It's a tough one.
This is difficult. I'm going to give it this is a cop-out, and I'm sorry, but I'll give it a 5. They could not. It's about like the rain in Kentucky. You never know.
That's fair.
It may do it, and it may not.
All right. That's fair.
I'm
okay with that.
I'm going to say 7 because they better beat Dallas Thursday. They better beat Dallas. That's all I got to say.
Or what? Or what? You're going to go beat up Ben Harper if not?
Yeah, right. I'm going to go after who's the little.
All right, Rich, we're on the same page here. I went 7 out of 10 as well. I went moderately confident. I went 7 out of 10. I think that the Preds are going to beat Dallas, and I'm going to give you my hot take of the week. Preds are beating Tampa Bay in Stadium Series.
I love it.
Not because I think the Preds are better than Tampa Bay in a 7-game series. I'm not crazy, but I think in this game, how big of a deal it's going to be to this franchise, the crowd, the players are going to really bring the extra effort into it. I just think everything is going to work out, and they're going to figure out a way to beat Tampa, and we're going to get back on the winning track a little bit here.
Love it.
I got them. I
really hope so.
I think they're going to lose to Florida tomorrow night. So the losing is going to continue, and we're going to go into the Dallas game like really desperate for a win on Pecorine night. But I will take a loss to Florida tomorrow night if they can beat Dallas and Tampa the next 2. I will trade those off in a heartbeat.
Yep.
I'd much rather them win all 3, but let's be realistic.
I really just want it to be a game against Tampa.
Yeah.
All right. Last one here. Last one to round out episode 107 of Catfish Nights. We're rounding out episode 107 with the Preds confidence meter here. We're really trying to look ourselves in the mirror and see truly how confident we are about our team. All right. This one is more like, okay. Remember when the Preds played the Dallas Stars at the Winter Classic in Dallas and we saw all those Preds fans? I remember being so impressed by how many Preds fans I saw. I would say it was like close to being 60-40, like 60% Dallas fans, 40. I mean, that's an unscientific guess, but like that's kind of what it looked like. It felt like a college football game. It was. I was really impressed by the showing.
They definitely made a showing.
Sure. Here's my question here. What is your confidence level that Nissan Stadium will be filled with at least 75% fans of the Preds? In other words, we don't let the Tampa Bay Lightning fans come up here and invade the stadium, much like what's happened with the Titans for all these years. Whenever the Titans, for all of our football fans, whenever the Titans play teams like the Steelers, the Packers, like these big franchises, they always let the other team's fans come in and like make it 50-50, and it's so embarrassing. We cannot let that happen as Preds fans. We have to make sure we have the overwhelming majority. That's why I have this this question for you guys. What do you think? You think the Preds fans are going to show up and not let the two-time Stanley Cup champion fans take over our stadium? What are you thinking, Rich?
I will say I bet the NHL is probably already taking care of that, and it's going to be 50-50.
So you're going
hate to say that.
So what's your confidence level? Throw me a number.
Let's
75.
75% Preds fans. I say a 4. I just don't think. I think the NHL is going to give them. I think they're just going to. They want both teams represented equally, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But it's still considered a home game for the Preds.
It is. It is.
I feel like it'd be unfair to.
It is
for the NHL to skew towards the other team if you're going to call it a home game.
You're right. You're right. But
but here's the whole point of the question: how many fans are selling their tickets to Tampa Bay fans? Because everyone has a price. That's kind of the point of that's what Titans fans are guilty of. That's kind of what I'm a Titans fan as well. And Titans fans have always been guilty of this. They will sell one game's ticket to pay for their season tickets for the season. Like they'll be like, oh, this Steelers fans are offering this much money. I can pay for all my season tickets this year if I go ahead and sell these tickets to these Steelers fans. That's true. So that's kind of my thing. What are you saying, Kyle? Do you think it's going to be at least 75% Preds fans at Nissan Stadium?
3 to 4 at the highest. I think it's going to be closer to maybe a 60-40 split.
Okay. I'm going to throw y'all for a loop here. I actually think the Preds fans are going to show out for this one. I'm talking people who aren't even diehard hockey fans. And I've got friends who are going to this game who would never be confused as hockey experts or even – they don't even know what icing is. But they're going to this game.
It's on the cake.
Yeah, that's right.
But they're going to this game. I've got a buddy who's like, I can't wait. He's so amped up about it. He's like, I got the Stadium Series jersey. I can't wait to go. We're getting there like noon to tailgate. And I'm like, dude, you don't even know what icing is. You don't even know what offsides is. And you're going to this game and you're like acting like it's the big. He even had to ask me. He's like, what are the Preds in the standings right now? I'm like, dude, you got a smartphone. Look it up.
Yeah. You're like, name 3 Predators other than Duchesne, Johansen, and Forsberg.
He probably still thinks that Pecorine and Mike Fisher are still on the team. I'll be honest, but he is so amped up about this. But he is so amped up about this game, and I'm telling you, Nashville sports fans are crazy. They will look for a reason to go to something, even if they're not a diehard fan of the team. So I think that it's going to be overwhelmingly Preds fans. I think there will definitely be little pockets of Lightning fans, but I think it's going to be overwhelming.
You can look at fans going to the MLS games for Nashville. You can't tell me that all those people are soccer fans. So hopefully it'll be the same way.
They're there for a good time.
Well,
I would like to address something I saw, and it kind of ticked me off. It made me feel bad about our fan base, and it was on the great Preds Facebook, and somebody from a Lightning fans page had started putting together like a little bar crawl around Nashville the night before the Stadium Series, and somebody shared that onto the Predators fan group page. And was saying, hey, let's go to everywhere they're going and ruin their time.
That's horrible.
Don't do that.
That is
why you want people to come to your city. You want people to come to events in your city. You want people to come to these games with your team because, hey, it's a cool, enjoyable place to go.
Yeah.
Why try to make your town look bad? Why?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We don't do that. Let's not be that fan base. Let's not be that fan base that has that reputation. Let's friendly trash talk is fine, but keep it within the context of the game. Have fun with it. Keep it friendly answer, as you want to call it, or whatever. But let's not turn into that trashy city reputation where we make it like uncomfortable for opposing fans. Because you also have to understand that you're going to have families that are going to this game from the other city, and let's just make it a fun experience for everyone involved. Have a little fun, friendly trash talk. That's perfectly fine, but let's keep it civil here. Let's not be that city and that fan base that has that reputation.
Don't be a jerk.
Yeah. I know if any Tampa people were to accidentally listen to this before this game coming up, Friday night, if you're in Nashville, Tailgate Brewery on Demumbrian, 7 o'clock, the Renegades are putting on the home base freak out. If you like hockey, if you don't like hockey, you're welcome.
Yep.
And everyone's invited.
Everybody's invited. You come in wearing a Bolts jersey, somebody's going to smack you on the back and say welcome.
Exactly. It's all about the love of hockey.
That's
how
right.
it should be.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Beautiful game.
I'm glad you brought that up. That is big. Yeah. Friday before the game, at Tailgate Brewery, Renegades of Pucks doing their home base freak out, right? Kyle, what's it called?
Yes, sir. Did I say the street name
all right? Yep.
Demumbrian, yeah.
Yes, you did. It's
winner.
Demumbrian. Good job.
Yeah. I had to ask Chad, and when Colin was still with us, because he's from there too, I had to ask them how to say that because I didn't know for the longest time. But it is Demumbrian.
Demon Brewing?
Not Demon Brewing.
That's spelled, so it's a good guess.
It is.
All right, everyone. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you so much for joining us. This has been episode 107 of Catfish on Ice. We are going to get back to our winning ways soon. The Preds are, that is. Maybe not against Florida, but we're getting there. All hope is not lost yet. We need you to stick with us. We'll stick with you. Got a big week ahead. We'll be here for you. Pecorine is getting his jersey retired. We got the Stadium Series. We'll be back on Thursday for a brand new episode. This has been Catfish on Ice, brought to you by DraftKings with Chad Minton, Rich Howe, and Kyle Perkins. Everyone have a great week. We'll see you Thursday.
Have a good one.
See ya.